Maigavanin, Valamar, Yestarë, welcome. We're going to celebrate the Elven New Year today, and we are also going to do our ritual aligned with Vaire. And so we will begin, and you can follow along with us with the video that we provide for you. And we'll have a little chat afterwards, as I put down there, to tell us about your experiences while doing this. Also, remember, we're going to do a 10-minute meditation this time. So make sure that you're in a comfortable position where you can sit for 10 minutes so that we can meet Vaire during that. All right, I'm going to start us off.
Elenia. Anaria. Isilia. Alduya. Menelia. Earenia. Galania. Arda. Ea. We're calling on the Valar and the directions, and we first want to create the Tengwar for Roman, which is east. So we'll trace that. We leave our hands in between. When we're toning, we leave our hand like this, and it's called the fear not mudra in some cultures, and we just noticed that it works really well for the Elven path. Roman. We now call on Manwe, Sulimo, the High King of Arda, of the Eagles and the Winds, and his lady, Varda Elentari, the Queen of the Stars and the protector of Arda and Iluvatar's children. We welcome you into our circle, Aya.
Aya.
Next, we make the Tengwar for Hjarmen, which is south, in front of us. Hold our hand. Hjarmen. We now call on Tulpa, the youngest bare-handed, ruddy warrior Vala, and Nessa, the sister of Orome, and the friend of the deer, she who dances in the new green grass. We welcome you into our circle, Aya.
Aya.
Next, we want to make one for north, which is Formen. So we'll do that. And if any of you, while you're in circle, can turn in directions, that would be awesome. But you can still just face your screen and do it in front of you. It'll still work. Okay, put our hand in the Fear Not Mudra. Formen. Iule, the smith, who dwells in the ground, the Vala of the mining and crafting of metals and gemstones, he who created the dwarves as a gift to Iluvatar, and our motherly Yavanna, Kimintari, the giver of fruits, the queenly Vaire of Arda's maturing green vegetation of harvest and of the life that nourishes all of us. We welcome you into our circle. Aya.
Aya.
Okay, we want to bring our concentration now. Yes, this one. Double check. This is the Tingwar for the sky, Ilia, but we intone me because it means like the center. It means it's like the heart chakra, the heart, the inner mind. So I like to do mine on my chest and then hold the hand over it like this. Me. We now call on the hunter Vala Orome, the lord of the forests, he who loves the elves and wanders all of Arda on his horseback with his horn, and Vana, the ever young and vital, she who aligns with the flowers and the new plant growth. We welcome you into our circle, Aya.
Aya.
Okay, now we want to do Ingwar for the, I'm sorry, this was Vilia, the sky. The other one is the heart, the inner mind. Okay, this is the one. However, we intone or, which means above. So we'll do the Tingwar. Okay, and you can hold your hand up or in front, it doesn't matter. Oh. We now call on Lorien, the Vala of the High Light Gardens, who nurtures our goals, visions, and our dreams. And Este the Gentle, the Valie of rest, sleep, and healing. We welcome you into our circle. Aya.
Aya.
Next, we make the Tingwar for Arda, which is down. Okay, so we intone Undo, which means below. So we'll just draw with the tail, just like how it is here. And then you can hold your hand down. Undo. We now call on those of the Velar who walk alone. Ulmo, the brother of Monwe, the powerful and protective Vala of the musical waters of Arda. And Niena, the Valie of our transformation and rebirth, she who, with her tears, intensely cleanses and restores all forms of fear, pain, and hurt that have come before. We welcome you into our circle. Aya.
Aya.
The last of the directions is the M. It looks like an M, but it means west, and it's pronounced Newman. We'll make that in front of us. Put the hand in Fear Not Mudra. We now call on Namo, the Vala of the balance and fair judgment of our respective paths of death, and Vaire, the weaver of the ever-changing black and white threads of time, the past, present, and the future. We welcome you into our circle. Aya.
Aya.
And then in your space all around you, envision a flame, and you can like draw a flame in front of you. You can just, just envision like a big flame to bring in the power of the flame imperishable. And we intone Iluve, which means the all, the everywhere. Okay, I'm going to just trace my flame. Iluve. And we bring our hands into prayer position. We acknowledge that we are one with Iluvatar, as well as the spirit of Christ consciousness, and feel the flame imperishable within us in our circle of celebration on this night. Laita.
Laita. Let us celebrate tonight Yestarë, the Elven New Year. This also welcomes the first season of the 6 Elven seasons. Thule, the Elven Spring. Let us welcome, after the slumber of cold, sleep of the dark seasons, the beautiful shades of light, clear green that are abound. The Legendarium tells us that Luthien danced on this day when long ago she first met Baron in the forest of Doriath. A night there was when winter died. Then all alone she sang and cried, and danced until the dawn of spring, and chanted some wild magic thing. In Tia Eldelieva, Yestarë resonates with the Vaire, Vaire, the wife of Namo in the halls of Mandos. Vaire is the weaver of the threads of our lives, our past, present, and even future. At times, these threads may change as needed. The fabrics of our lives are woven and maybe rewoven, and the fabric represents the measurement of time and manifestation. We will meet with Vaire this evening in order to fine-tune and repair the fabrics of our lives, which will provide us not only healing, but direction for the new Elven year. As this is an important Elven feast, according to Tolkien's Legendarium, let us feast the spirit with this wonderful energy of new growth of love and life that is all around. Let us plant our seeds and anticipate an abundant, productive, growing season ahead for all of our needs, spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical. Laita.
Laita.
So first you're going to prepare the water for meditation. Infuse starflower essence to prepare us for spiritual work by creating starflower water to drink through your intention or through the actual flower essence itself. Starflower, a soothing and a comforting energy of purity, refinement, and innocence for those who feel vulnerable or unprotected, especially in group situations. Help us open a stronger, vertical connection with earth and spirit. Strengthens the ability to maintain our individuality in crowded situations, regardless of competition for resources or lack of space. Supports heart-centered contact and inspired communication in groups, both the ability to speak from our hearts and the ability to welcome the individuality and preciousness of what others have to say. If you can drink water, starflower infused or not, by your choice, to infuse either purchase the essence yourself or gather flowers that look like stars and receive the energy by the intention of the flower energy into your body through your eyes, then transfer it to the water you will drink via your hands. This takes focus, but it can be done, and you may find another way to accomplish this, so you can go with it if you do. Now, get really comfortable, feet flat on the floor, uncrossed, crossed, or hands open, and facing up or down as you see fit. You can start the music here. So take a sip of that starflower water. Let it fill your body. Close your eyes and notice You are standing on Coralire, the green mound of the two trees. See the beautiful silvery moonlight of the white tree Telperion. Feel the left side of your body while seeing your left side glow silver and seeing this light in your very blood. And especially circulate this silver light to your ajna or third eye chakra, as well as your sacral orange chakra, about 3 inches below your belly button. If you see other colors along with this silver light, that is fine, and allow it. Now, fill the right side of your body with the gorgeous golden sunlight of the golden tree, laurelene. Again, seeing your right side glowing golden, you may again see other colors along with this golden light, and just allow, that's fine. Circulate this golden energy around and see it in your blood. Also direct this golden energy to your crown chakra at the top of your head and your solar plexus. Allow yourself to be nurtured above by this healing light. Next, feel your tree roots pushing deeper and deeper into Arda, our earth. And allow Arda to nurture and nourish you, feeling more grounded and connected to Arda. You are feeling very supported by Arda now, and in fact, you are Arda. You may see more colors, and these are fine. And as you have extended roots with your feet, now allow your arms, hands, fingers, and even your hair to become various branches of the two trees. And see yourself reach to Vilya, the sky, and in all directions. As you extend branches, extend your roots further as above, so below. Remember that in order for your branches to reach to the far spaces of Elven and ancestral memory, it is best to be centered in the source, so you can go even further. Now, just as the trees had a symbiotic relationship, see the silver light and then the gold light fluctuating within you in a beautifully and balanced way, in nature's ever-wise way, and the seasons flow, and at this point you will likely feel connected to Ea and Iluvatar, or all that is. You may also connect with the Valar, or your Maiar or Elven guides at this point. You also may start getting some visions now, or messages of some sort. You may be more fully reawakening your Elven DNA and ancestral memory, and allow this to take their respective courses. Now we begin a 10-minute meditation, so close your eyes if you have not already. We now pay a visit to the halls of Mandos, to the wife of Namo, Vaire the weaver. See her draped in gray and weaving the white threads and the black threads to weave balance into manifestation and existence. We can now ask her to show us the fabric of our lives that is being woven well, which is manifesting beautifully in balance. Really look at the fabric as it may appear in colors and different prints that are representative of what you wish to create, and remember what you see. Now ask her to see the fabric of your life that really would be better unraveled, old patterning, or a prior bad decisions, and know that many of these threads that need the unraveling are generational family patterns that weaken you and even your descendants for the next 7 generations. Take a good look at the fabric, noting your feelings about it, and trust that Vaire would only show you the fabric that must be unraveled. If you are feeling attachment to this fabric, try to figure out why. When you become comfortable with unraveling, grab some threads at the corners and just start pulling them and watching this fabric unravel, seeing these threads disappear into the air. Vaire has plenty of threads with new energy to weave your new fabric, so unravel away. As you unravel, notice any feelings you have. Notice any feelings that your ancestors may have had. Notice the colors, prints, and feel the texture, and try to get the message about what the problems were, and why this fabric is so strong and patterning that it kept weaving itself all the way to you. When the fabric is almost unwoven, know you are at the core of many of your deep issues now. See yourself unraveling down to the last thread, disappearing. Even if one shred of a thread is left, it will work itself back into your patterning. So really try to make resolutions with this. Ask Vaire or any other Valar, Maiar, or other guides to show themselves to you for help with this if you find yourself needing it. When every shred of this fabric is gone, say goodbye to the patterns and release this in the best way for you. Now, Vaire shows you your fabric that is already working for you, so if you wish, you can make some changes to make it an even better fabric of your life. When you see this fabric weaving all by itself, and Vaire tells you that your work is complete, allow her to cloak you with her cloak of the black and white threads across your shoulders. Feel how strong, yet light, this cloak is. You may have very heightened emotions when this cloak is placed on you. You may now have more understanding of your path in the space you are in, with the new viewpoint you have experienced this evening. Thank Vaire and get ready to transition for feasting with the elves. Then visualize yourself next with the elves at this fun and quickening feast. Try to embrace the coming warm months in which new growth is all abound. The leaves are returning in a most beautiful light and clear green color. The smell is fresh and brisk. If it feels right, then plant some seeds that represent your wishes for the coming year. The Valar and or Maiar, or any of them, may show up in your meditation. Communicate with them about this day. Some things may be for you personally, and some things may be for this spiritual path. Remember any symbols or correspondence that are presented to you, and allow all the time you need for this to occur. Now you may close your eyes and continue your journey, feasting with the elves, and feeling the cloak of Vaire on your shoulders. Okay. All right, you may open your eyes. Now your meditation can come to a close when the time is right. Thank the Valar and all the Maiar, especially those who came to you and your elven guides for their assistance as we slowly come back to the physical world, remembering what transpired Bid all farewell, and then turn your attention back to Coralire, the green mound of the true trees, bringing your consciousness to the trees themselves, and then slowly draw in your branches. And as you do so, begin to unroot from Arda, realizing you always have this connection. You can always find your way back. Then slow down the golden energy, then slow down the silver energy until the energy becomes small and portable. Keep a little piece of each of these lights, and then visualize this combined light becoming the 3 Silmarils, the jewels made with the light of the 2 trees. You can keep these with you, even in your pocket, and you can access their healing energy anytime you want. Now take a deep breath, and if you are feeling a little lightheaded, it will go away. You can take a drink of water, but you should be starting to come back now and feeling refreshed. And Palaturniel will do the closing ceremonies.
Yes, indeed. If you don't have any water around or something like that, a little bit of salt on the tip of your tongue, that'll work too. Our work is done. We acknowledge the existence of Iluvatar, the all that is, and the flame imperishable while we are in circle, and we thank the Christ Spirit for being with us in circle. And may we see your presence in all outside of the circle, light up.
Light up.
Thank you to all of the Valar, and in particular to Vaire the Weaver, for being with us in circle and for carrying out in spirit our work done this night. We hereby open ourselves to you even outside of the circle, Laita.
Laita.
We acknowledge and are grateful for the elements and the directions, and to the silver and golden light that create our blessed space, in which we may do our spiritual work this sacred night, Laita.
Laita.
And let's take all the energy that we generated from the ritual and kind of gather it around and then push it down into Arda, the earth, as a present for her. Arda, the earth. Here is a gift of energy, of pure intent, of love, light, and healing that comes from the deepest places of our hearts. And may it heal you and all of your inhabitants and bring all things to natural balance. The circle is now open. Light up. And we can just finish pushing the energy to the ground. And this is a good time to get bread, drink, salt on the end of your tongue, whatever it needs. And we should go check out the chat and see what kind of experiences we had in meditation and with the ritual tonight.
And I had a vision that if we had our elven sanctuary, we would have like a table of fruits and bread and all types of salads and things like that, anything people want to bring. And then people would go and eat afterwards and have, a little bit of a feast to bring them back from the meditation. We could do that in our sanctuary one day.
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. Well, and interestingly, in my water, you'll see that I have a little piece of orange. This orange came from a tree locally in my neighborhood because they're all in bloom and like fruit right now.
Oh,
and
nice.
So that's what I had for my water, because what I have, right? Because that's how we roll here. We use what we have.
And if we had our sanctuary, we would actually take it from our garden because we want a community garden.
Yeah, like lemon water. Oh gosh, I'm
dreams,
so excited about that.
Yeah.
So my vision, interestingly, it was a little more personal for me, but one of the things that I am doing right now is resurrecting my crochet business. And who perfectly to work with other than Vaire the Weaver? Okay, seriously.
Exactly.
And I forgot about the part with the cloak and everything. So get a load of this, okay? What am I wearing? A cloak, and it's gray. So it's like black and white, it's in between, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had to move the bow though, so that that my necklace won't spin. I have a this is an interesting piece. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a leaf.
Oh my goodness.
And it's overlaid on a coconut shell, like that they smoothed out.
Oh, that's neat.
And then they put resin over the top. And for years, I didn't have this. I sent it away to a friend of mine because I found it at the gem fair in San Diego. And she asked me to like make her a little care package. And I sent it to her in Georgia. And she flew here recently for a funeral and gave me this necklace, which has all the peridot. And I'm just so totally happy.
You're ready for spring.
I'm ready for spring. Like, let's go. So I just thought that this was such an appropriate, like, I'll be like doing a different YouTube channel and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to be making, rather than making product for sale, like physical products, I wanted to do digital things and have video tutorials and things like that. And then monetize it with yarn links and things like that. But part of it is getting noticed in YouTube at this point, because there's a lot of people that already do this. But I know I have my own like take and my own voice and my own taste and, my own way of making patterns that other people want to know about. And so I was asking Vaire to help me. And then she's like, look what you're wearing. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I love that. Yeah. The meditation really was powerful for me because, I mean, like the elves in Tolkien's world, the idea of just the past, not being so great and having a lot of, darkness. A lot of times I get glimpses and visions of my own ancestral background and also just parts of what my mom had to endure or what my father had to endure. And it was a really powerful night, I think tonight, of cutting the cords and really like owning my own future and my own recreation, basically, and not feeling part of their mistakes that they may have made in the past. Like completely.
How appropriate with the fabric and unwinding the fabric that, like, because our parents were weaving that fabric too before we ever got the pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's powerful.
Yeah, it is. And my mom was a very good person, but she made some choices, I think, that made her very sad. And I think that my father made choices that made him feel very alone. And so it's like more kind of getting out of that pattern, because everything is connected energetically. And so we are our parents in many ways, and our parents are us. We share a lot of the same trials and obstacles, and parents pass them down to their children, and the next generation is supposed to somehow be a little bit better, or get over those problems or those issues that their parents did not. So I think that it's really important to look at Vaire that way, and that was really special. It was hard for me to kind of come out of it. I put back the time a little bit so that we had a little more time. But let's see what everybody else felt. I would love to hear the story.
Check out the chat.
How did the music work out this time? I used some spacey music that I thought would be enough.
I was kind of falling asleep, and I realized my head was falling over. So definitely worked.
I think I was on the side too. I thought the music was appropriate for the Halls of Mandos, because to me, the Halls of Mandos represents kind of somewhere out in the ether. Like the walls would not be really walls, but they would be like see-through, and you could see the stars. And it would be this place where it might look like this beautiful, kind of temple-like structure, but then it would be invisible borders so that you could still see the stars. It would have that type of look to me. So that's why I thought the music was appropriate, because I could see Vaire sitting on this almost like glass-like floor and ceiling and looking at the stars, but also weaving at the same time. And as her threads, it was like you see sparks of energy going out into the universe. And
Wow. Very awesome.
I can see that.
Let's
So,
see what other people, I want to hear what they had.
absolutely. So I made a
I mean,
couple.
hopefully they're like not in a daze still and can type or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know it is hard to come out of it. I do feel it.
Yeah.
So Morwinden said she had a very intense vision of an elven sanctuary with a huge feast, an elven community with
You
greenhouses.
guys tuned in on the same
Yeah.
thing.
And a beautiful natural village. And then I was transported off the earth to the moon. I see two goddesses on the moon who were protecting the earth, one gold and one silver, sending healing energies to us all. That's beautiful. That's
Oh,
a
that's
wonderful vision.
wonderful. Oh, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
That's so
thank you.
cool. I actually had a vision a long time ago that the round bodies that we see as stars, they actually, like if we were to like tone down the light, they would look like trees, the way that the as above so below, like druid trees look. That's how the stars look.
Oh, yeah.
Like, but you can't see because it's just blinding light, so we just think they're round.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they just look round to us, but I like that
Yeah.
idea. And
I
then,
mean, I don't know if that's going to be scientifically provable. Maybe it already is. I don't know, but it'd be kind of interesting.
yeah, I mean, the Even Star says that in her vision, it was an evening around a large elven feast table outdoors, and she saw some familiar faces and a few more unfamiliar. I love that. That's good. Meeting new friends and some old ones.
Okay, they're tuning in on us big time. Okay, behind the scenes. Okay, because you guys are our like hardcore members, right?
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, we have been brainstorming about a physical ElvenCon, like behind the scenes, but it's kind of fresh and early right now. But we're already looking at possible locations and ways to do that. So you guys must be seeing the same stuff.
I think that would be amazing. Especially I think that the sanctuary would be a place for us all to really gather to. And I know it might be hard because we're all in different locations, but I think if we could do it once a year and just everybody plan that, a little road trip or a little flight, I think that would be a lot of fun. And we could find a way where we could maybe create the tree houses so people can stay almost like a little hotel. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? Things can get really big. It really has to come down to resources. So we're just kind of looking for ways that we can do this. But
yeah, well, technology, I think, is also going to help, because one of the things, I'm an astrologer, stars, things like that.
Yeah.
One of the things that's coming up is every 20 years, there is a cycle of Jupiter and Saturn coming together, and they really set the tone for a lot of collective things on the planet. And I mean like real things, like things that we see, not just like ideas or psychology or things like that. These are like where you see things happening. So for the last several cycles, it's been in earth signs only. The last one we had was in 2000, which was in Taurus. So again, more physical, more like, like things. So this time it's going to be in the earliest degree of Aquarius. It's an air sign. It's about the future. I have a feeling that with Uranus and Taurus right now, and with the Saturn Jupiter conjunction in Aquarius, the fact that these are interplaying now, we're going to see some huge technology leaps. Watch out for the, and I think that, I mean, over the 20-year period, certainly, but in the next 4 years, like, I really think that it's going to flavor things. I think that a lot of things are going to change with how we work. And I think that this coronavirus thing that's happening right now is, it's the way to cut the cord from the system that's not working right now, because everybody can see it's not working. Like, before, like us spiritual types, like we've known for 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, like however long, that there's something wrong with this place, and nobody was paying attention. We have everybody's attention now. We can see that the old way is not working. This is the kind of stuff that, like, we've got to like invent, and that's how we do it. And humans only do that when there's pain. And so a lot of people are actually, I think, also spiritually awakening right now because they've had good lives up till this point. So there's a whole bunch of people that are hitting a wall right now. And I'm so glad that we, got together and had done this a long time ago. I'm so glad that we found Kimber L and like have made this like a real thing now. Because we're needed right now in the world, and all of you that are in our group, you are needed too. And I want you to just tune in and see how you do your service, because just like the Ainur had their own part of the song, and none of the other Ainur had those parts of their song, but they combined together, it was this beautiful gift. I think that all of us should be tuning in on what our part is, because we all have a very special part.
I agree. And the thing about this virus that you said is that we are seeing so much change in nature and the idea of just these factories being closed and people not being able to, go out to restaurants and things like that. That causes a lot of extra pollution. There are some real changes for the earth, and it is heading towards more of a realization of greener energy is needed. And I think that, I really do believe that is the direction we are going. And I think
some of us are going to be working at home, but I also think that rather than having pollution and all of those things, that technology can somehow be accessed and have less, like, if you will, factory work, like that's boring, repetitive, and that you just exist and then get a paycheck. Mm-hmm. Okay. It's going to be very specialized and very, like learned, and paying well and all of this. And I see a lot of work coming back to the United States after like farming it out to China, back in the 80s when the last, the one, not the 2000, but the one before that was like when a lot of stuff started going to China. We used to have a lot of industry in our country, back in the 60s and the 70s. And I mean, and some of it was leaving, but like it left in droves. And part of that was policy with governments and, like deals and all kinds of things. And I really feel that there was an imbalance for a long time. And it shouldn't be that one country makes all the products and poisons its own people for the whole world. That's ridiculous, It seems to me that keeping it like in our neighborhoods and in our like our communities. And then some things can be global, I mean, I think that there's a flow, and I think that, everything knows its flow naturally, but I think that it's time to just be thinking about how things could really work and make it work better. And I think that it will. I think that this kind of stuff is the kind of things that government goes, we need to make this work better, because usually they're very inefficient.
Yeah, and Roxanne, 3D printing was changing manufacturing.
I agree with that. And I think that that's how we're going to do our Elven sanctuary too. I think that that's going to be a big part of it. Thank you, Roxanne. I totally agree with that. That is such a Jupiter, Saturn, with Uranus and Taurus. That is absolutely what it is. And I'd love to see like more natural type fibers be the things that could run through the printer. I would love that.
Mm-hmm. Like cutting bamboo into the shapes of really intricate kind of shapes that, we see in the Elven sanctuaries of Rivendell, like that type of,
that'd be beautiful.
Celtic. Yeah, that'd be wonderful if we can.
And make it accessible for everybody. And like you said, sustainable, because bamboo grows so quickly and yet it's so strong and light. It's wonderful.
I think so. We could do that instead of plastic. That would be perfect. Mm-hmm. So there's a couple other visions here that I wanted to share. There's some really good ones.
Oh, please. I want to hear them.
Yeah, this was good too. So Maura Linden said she was in the stars as there was a wonderful kingdom in the moon with all these elven buildings and elven people who all looked happy. Yeah,
you guys are all tuning in on the same place.
Really? And then Pandora, she was more focused like on the cloth idea, which is beautiful. She had a vision of the embroidery that was in her mind, and specifically a pattern that she's going to try to draw later. And
wow.
It had a red and gold leaf pattern on a black background. So those are like her power colors, I think, that was given
beautiful.
Red, gold, and black. That's great. Boy, those are really,
really powerful. And that's a very sun, that's a very sun and like very goddess energy too.
It is. Oh, yeah. Phoenix. It's very Phoenix to me, like the Phoenix kind of archetype. So maybe it's transformation, and I like that. The fire.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And then the Even Star said, I sat across from an Elven man that spoke to me quite a bit. Ooh, I would love to hear what he said. I was told that what
was it in Elvish?
Yeah, he said, what I fear is what I hold onto, and that it was time to let it go of it all. Yeah, absolutely. That's wonderful. I think that Vaire helps with that too. That energy of just being able to, take apart an old pattern and then reweave another one. It's really just completely dissolving those old fears and the old energy that you might have carried with you, and just completely making a whole new pattern. I mean, it is wonderful. That recreation is just such a powerful, we should all know that naturally, but I think embracing it through Vaire, it gives us the permission to, because sometimes we don't know how to recreate in our own lives because we don't have somebody else give us that permission, which is really interesting. But that's just kind of the human psychology, and also Elven psychology sometimes, that you have to go to a higher source and your higher guides to sometimes allow you to know it's time to let go of those old existing patterns in your life to move forwards. That's all you really need. Yeah, so that's great, Even Star.
That's really cool. And on the clothing note, and then back to the 3D printing, I actually had an idea where rather than like having to toss your old clothes to Goodwill because they either don't fit anymore, or you don't like the style, or you don't like whatever it is, I envisioned a thing that, like, you can have all your measurements done, right? And then you can use the old clothes as the fiber that you put into the 3D printer, that like it transforms it, like, so it'll convert it back to the fiber, redo everything, and like reweave it and put it in 3D print. And like, you could make all your own clothes out of your own clothes instead of having to throw them away or, donate them, or, because like there's a lot of things in consumer goods. Let's look around, there's a lot of waste.
That seems high tech, but definitely that would be great. That would be amazing to have that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I bet you other things could be also recycled and reformed into, like even, like cement or something, like, for how, and just, somehow, I don't know how, but, because I'm not the genius that's going to invent this, but, somebody else will.
Somebody else has a role. Yeah.
Exactly. One of those other people has a role in this. And yeah, I've always thought that 3D printing was going to be how we could access the ideas of the Elven world that we want to create and have it be like for real, like not just a movie set in New Zealand, we want it to be like a place that's real.
Yeah, I think we're at the starting point. We're in a really interesting time to be alive, because we get to watch this progression, and maybe it's been a past experience that we've watched before, but maybe we get to watch it go into a slightly different direction this time. So I think it's really exciting. I always think about that. I feel so much gratitude for being alive at this time to watch all this. I just see like technology is just like a little like bud. And if we can go in the direction, that's where the Elven energy is really important. All that we're doing is refocusing, bringing the attention back to nature, so that there's a balance with the the technology, so that it incorporates that natural element with it as well. And I think that just being alive on Earth as elven souls and into fairy and Tolkien, I think that is a very important part that does not let humanity go into a direction where it's just completely forgets about nature and it goes into the technology, cyborg, AI direction.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, it's got to be in balance with technology, because I mean, I don't want to, I don't want to live without my modern conveniences, but I also want it to be like in line with nature so that it's not damaging,
Yeah.
So I totally understand that. And I think that all is possible. I think that with mindfulness and intention, as well as, the intelligence and the genius of people, like, I know that there's always checks and balances. And sometimes you have to, like, well, it's not perfect, but, we'll do this until we can discover the next thing. And then, like, that sometimes that never happens because, like, corporations will buy it and they'll go, we're going to shelve this because we can make more money. You know what I mean? Or like just weird stuff like that. And we're getting to a place where people are going to be like, it's going to be transparent and it's going to be so visible about what it is. And like people like us that are waking up and like saying, okay, we're not going to give so-and-so this kind of resources or money or anything else anymore. We're just not going to do it because we know what they're about, I also think that, we're getting to a place where all of us that are kind of doing this fifth dimension, kind of choice that we've already made, deep inside of us as humans, that we're going to traverse the 3D and 5D simultaneously. And the ones that are accessing only 3D, that are not going to be accessing the 5D by their choice, and it's fine, but they're not going to be able to live on the planet much longer because the Earth is singing in 5D right now. She's been singing that for a little bit. And, humans have been, she's like escalating it gently so that we don't all like perish in a minute, like, because we have a lot of filters and stuff to navigate this 3D thing. Okay. So over time, we've dropped some of the filters, each thing, and things that we did for survival, things that we, just do. Over time, it's going to get more and more comfortable to just ascend. And I think that this is a big jump again. And I think that this is kind of where the breaking point is for the ones that are 3D, that have chosen 3D and nothing else. They're going to hear the song that does not resonate with them anymore, and it's going to make them crazy. They're going to have to get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about Vaire, like the idea of like, I just hope our members understand how powerful each of them are in terms of putting out that energy into the world and that intention, and just bringing forwards all these new events and new choices that humanity can take. I think it's really important tonight to remember that we are part of that. We're not just bystanders watching. We are creating our reality as well. And yes, we're doing it collectively with others, but you yourself individually within your mind, you are your sole creator, within your mind. And then you have this outside universe that you respond to, and the universe responds back to you. But it's about what your intentions are and noticing how powerful you are. So I would love to hear if members are starting to find their elven magic within them, just being part of this path more, because I know that I have stepped into that. Like, I really have embraced some elvish magic within me. And if you have noticed that within your life, that things happen for you, your visions are coming more clearly and they're coming more readily to you, this would be really interesting to hear. And you can always leave comments below, and it's a private video, so you can talk amongst yourself, or you can leave it on our group. But even if you want to put it here, let's go to a couple more visions of the meditation. Sean Mackenzie, or
Hey,
I saw new fresh green plants pattern on the fabric. I think it was encouragement to try new elven creative things this year. I like that.
Wow, cool. And he's the plant guy, so he'll
Yeah.
probably really dig the necklace then.
And then Lady Ravenhill, can I ask, are you a writer? Because she said, I was sent a vision of a wooden quill pen in my hand, and I was dipping in burnt red ink.
Wow.
Are you writing? Maybe that's your nudge to start to write, and you have a lot of wonderful things to say. And then Roxanne says, I have an elder lord named Sandron who always greets me when I arrive among them, offering his arm for me to hold as we walk, and he introduces me to the others at the table, and the Valar were there also. That's a very strong vision. It's really
Wow.
great.
Beautiful.
That is really beautiful. And then also I have, Faith Gibson said, I can't wait to have the temple. Yeah.
Oh, I know we're all like eager for that. I mean, we've been talking about it, envisioning it, and I guess you guys, it's like we can't hide anything from you because you saw right through it. Okay, we've been talking about it.
I have to tell you, I mean, I'm pretty healthy, but I have determined that I will not leave the earth without getting that started. So I'm very determined, extremely determined. And I think Calatirniel is the same way. We cannot leave this earth until we get that started for everybody. And with your help, of course, this is going to be amazing, and we just need to get more. We have to get more sponsorships and more people that might be interested in helping us because they like our vision.
All we need is one good person that like has tons of resources. Like seriously, that's what happens. Like, we can build a small amount, but it does help. All of the energy helps us together. But when that one person notices the light, and they're like, this is special, and I want this to be in the world so much. And here I have all of these resources, and I want them to go to good. There's a lot of philanthropist type of people that have lots of money. Okay, like that maybe they inherited it, like from, grandparents and great grandparents or what have you, and they have it and they want to do good in the world. They exist. It's not like everybody that's the quote, elitist or whatever are like, we hate everybody. That's not what's happening.
No,
there's a lot of them that actually really want things in the world that like really are meaningful and that they see that has a good legacy for the future, like not just 10 years in the future, but 100 years in the future and 200 years in the future. So we're part of this right now.
I have attracted, so when I was younger and I was in theater, I took a class and there was a much older woman in there. She was like in her 70s and she was in the theater class because she just wanted to take an acting class.
Mm-hmm.
She came up to me at the end of the semester and she's like, I want to give you $2,000 because I believe in you and I want to help you, go on to get your resume or whatever. So it happens. It happens. People who have money and who know that they're going to leave the earth one day very soon, and the idea that their future is it's looming in their mind, and they know they can't take their money with them, and so they want to leave a legacy behind, but they want to help somebody else grow, and we can find those people. And I do believe, and it's really just about us doing the resources. And well, I'm home now, so I have no excuse. So I will get to it. I promise everybody. I will.
No, we will. It'll happen, and it'll be in the proper time. Like everything is going to be. So all of the energy that we've been putting into this for 15 years, for recently, for this year, getting us to be a nonprofit, like this is all so important. And you guys are reason that we can do this. And I am eternally grateful, to be honest with you. I never thought that it would be like this. I never did. I thought that I was like just the only person that felt like I did, like way back in 2005. I'm serious. Like I had no idea that it would be like this one day.
I know. I think it's something that has been written in the stars already, and it's something also that we're creating as we go, as more confident we feel. It's
Yeah.
just amazing. Life can be amazing because you watch yourself going through the unfoldment of like a path that you have, that's part of your soul. You know, it's part of your essence. It's what makes you you. It's your style. It's who you are. And all of us seem to be kind of resonating on that same vision. And I believe that there's so much power behind that.
Yeah, they have the spark. Like everybody that's here, they had the same spark that we did. Like, you know, they're like, oh man, this is it. This is it. Like, I remember like that the first time that I felt that way, because, you know, I mean, I felt good about discovering other spiritual paths and things, you know, like once I woke up out of being a muggle, because I kind of shut down all my stuff like a long time ago. And in 1993, I couldn't do that anymore. And so it was a journey to even get back to like, you know, Lisa, okay. But this was like such a profound change in me, like astrology and this has been like the biggest changes in my life. And the astrology thing I get, because like there's a lot of astrologers now, and boy, the millennials love astrology, let me tell you. Okay, like astrology is everywhere. You just go on the computer and just, you know, it's everywhere. The Elven path felt like something that was like my secret, okay? Yeah. But it's not, it was never intended, I'm sure, by the spirit guides and all of the, you know, all the Elven energies, all the Valar, all of it. It's not their intention that it's a secret.
Well, it felt like my secret too. So so it's not a secret.
Not a secret.
Not a secret anymore. And I think it's all these people's secrets as well.
I know, but I mean, and by the way, it can feel like that. You can like enjoy that for a while, I think.
I think it's wonderful.
We could be the cool kids before, you know, like you have the t-shirt that says, you know.
Yeah. Like, I wanted to say, so there's a few great comments here. So Lady Ravenhill says, your idea with the recycled clothes sounds like a replicator from Star Trek that can reorder molecules to anything in the program.
Ooh.
So we have some time before that happens.
Neat.
to meet up with Star Trek technology, but I think it's in the future. I absolutely do.
I do too. We're going to see things that we have never seen before, like in the next 4 years, particularly. And then I just think even generally that we'll get to the 20-year mark and look back and go, oh my gosh, right? We can even do that right now in 2000. And it was in Taurus where everything usually stays the same. And we can still see how much change there was. I mean, I can go back and I'm like, wow, I didn't even have a cell phone. Didn't want one. You know, you know, like when, you know, like I remember, you know, the Mac and the PC thing, and that they were totally different systems. They didn't like cross over. That had to be done later. I remember so much that was very different, you know?
Yeah, I mean the Elven,
very different.
If you crossed the Elven philosophies and the way that the elves carry themselves, and then the high technology, it's very much, it could be like almost Star Wars Jedi, that kind of idea. But yet I would like to bring in more of the natural magic, the element of nature, which is what they talk about with the Force. So I understand, I mean, I don't know. I have so many visions about just the idea of all these movies, all these shows. They have existed in our reality because it is a reflection of in our potential of where we are heading, and we kind of get these little reminders or a glimpse at what we can have and what we can you know, go towards. But I don't want to lose I love the natural magic that Tolkien shares, and I think I just want to really hold on to that still. And it's a delicate balance between technology and the natural world. But yeah. I think that there's a beautiful marriage there that we can find.
I do too, but I think that the elves actually exercise that, because what they talk about in the Tolkien books about, quote, elven magic was actually that they had technology, but the difference between the elves and men when they had technology is that they double checked and made sure everything matched with nature, like as a check and balance system.
Mm-hmm.
Humans don't necessarily do that because the foresight isn't as developed as it is in the elves. Elves live forever. They can see like 500 years from now, like, well, this isn't a good idea. Let's do this. You know, humans, we have such short lives. And then like so many of our lessons get lost, you know, with just, you know, the trauma of our ancestors and all of these kinds of things that ended up turning into something else. And so a lot of things don't get learned or don't, you know, they didn't pick up the threads, if you will.
Yes.
Are you right?
They make sure, the elves always make sure that whatever they create does not destroy or disturb nature in its place.
Exactly.
And they use
but
nature
they had beautiful things, like, you know, they didn't sacrifice quality either.
No.
They had beautiful, like, you know, swords and jewelry and, you know, cloth and everything, like, you know, and that would be magic, I think, for an outsider looking at that, thinking that, you know, oh, wow, did you just wiggle your nose and make that, you know?
I know. I agree. I mean,
actually,
there's a lot
that'd
to
be
look
cool
forward
too.
to. So I think it's great that we're talking about visions in the future, because this is all part of Vaire. I mean, we're kind of like putting it out there into the universe of what we want to see. We right now are weaving.
Well, right now it looks like the Elven Con and the Elven Sanctuary is in everybody's visions. Wow. I'm like, man, how did they know?
Yes, thank you for helping us weave that into our reality, and so that we can all enjoy that and see that. The last thing I just wanted to say too was there was something about that's right, the meetings. So I was going to do a meeting like this week, but I was just going to put it off a little bit longer because I think just because the virus, everything has just kind of shut down a little bit. So I'm just going to take that time, and I'm going to actually write to people who love Tolkien, and, you know, just try to get our message out. And I'll work on that with Calaterniel. And if somebody wants to message me and, you know, maybe give me some ideas of who to talk to and who to email to get some sponsorship in that way, then that would be greatly appreciated. If you know anybody, maybe you have a very rich, you know, relative that wants to help, you know, humanity in a way. I mean, you know, leave me your email, and I will definitely work on that. So I'm going to put off the meeting for one more week, and then I'll tell you in the community tab when we will have our meeting, so that I can give you some news of some new things happening, and that'll give me this week to get that done, because wow, time flies really fast for me. It really does.
It has quickened for many people, I think. And it's really interesting that the coronavirus has made it come to a screeching halt for some things.
Yeah, you know? I mean, I just feel like I feel everything is really moving very fast, and there's a little bit of pressure to get some of the things I've wanted to do now, because now we're in that time where we have that momentum. So I'm going to work on that, and that's what I will work on. So I'm going to put off the Maiar and Eldar private video chats until another week.
Another cycle.
Yeah, another cycle. Okay. Give you all time to just relax at home, because really nothing is happening in terms of, we're not going to go out and we're not going to, you know, start doing things in terms of working in the community, because we can't, you know, everything is really about social distancing right now. So right now, all I would ask the members to do really is just set your intentions when you go to sleep tonight, when you wake up in the morning, and it's a brand new year ahead of you right now. Set your intentions of what you would like the world, what direction you would like the world to go into. Think about presidency. Think about anything that you want in terms of what you believe will bring forwards our Elven vision to light. And I think that will be very powerful that you can help start that, starting tomorrow, we plant that seeds, and that would be great. So absolutely, I'm very excited.
Yeah, me too.
I have a quote here. Let's end with this quote. This is a great one. So Epictetus has a quote so Lady Ravenel says, I found this great quote from Epictetus that fits the Yestarë time from the Stoics. Good. I'm so glad you're looking.
Wow, cool.
Yeah. Now is the time to get serious about living your ideals. How long can you afford to put off who you really want to be? Your nobler self cannot wait any longer. Put your principles into practice now. Stop the excuses and the procrastination. This is your life. Decide to be extraordinary and do what you need to do now. Ah,
that is beautiful.
Hand and leg. That was
chilling a little bit.
It is chilling because it fits so well. And those, I just saw some comments, especially from Faith. Welcome, Faith. You said you haven't really found the elven magic inside of you yet. You will be patient with yourself. This has taken me, I would say, about 2 to 3 years to allow myself to embrace that. I think that we're all born magical in some way, that we all have our power of will and intent, but it's about walking down a path long enough, having the patience to do so, and allowing your reality to change around you as you're walking down that path. That will bring forth the confidence within you. It will tell you that you're going down the right path. You will feel good about doing it. When you walk down the Elven spiritual path, meeting Calatir Niel and making this more of a solid experience in terms of, I always believed in the Elven wisdom of Tolkien. I felt and I resonated with the personalities and the behavior and the mannerisms of the elves, but to actually look at it from the perspective of celebrating the dates that we're doing now and aligning them to certain Valar is a whole new experience for me. In terms of it feels very ancient. It feels like something that my soul was needing to do once again, and I just forgot. And
that's
so
exactly what happened to us. And we wanted to try it on as like, I wonder if this is a real spiritual path. Like when we were reading the stories and, when we discovered the calendar in the back and I'm like, this might be an access point in order to like really tap into that. And oh my, key in the lock, bam, just like that. And I will say though that I had magical, experience, etc., for about 10 years prior to discovering this. So the Elven thing came a little faster once I like kind of blended my magic that I already learned, but then I deepened it and realized, oh yeah, this is a much better match because I'm way more aligned with, instead of doing things for myself, like where, some magic is like, make money. And okay, I'm totally good with all of that. But it's got to be good for the world, and it's got to be like an exchange of energy that's healthy and good and elevating for both, or all parties involved. Like it can't just be for you and then like to heck with everybody else. It's not going to work. Okay, that is the old system. That is the system that is no longer working. The elves knew that. That's why they took off. Okay, that's why the humans came, because we had to like, I guess, figure this out. So we need to do it in a way that is like, it has integrity and legacy and longevity. And I really think that it seems like, like kind of corny, like, oh, just follow the calendar, really? But, and speak the language and some of those things, you don't know, like it works on levels that you don't understand. And then one day, like it'll just click and you're going, oh, I did that.
Exactly. You have to live it, breathe it, see it, believe it. You have to put your heart into believing and thinking that you are an elven soul. You are an elf on earth. And when you start to do that, you really raise the vibrations to align with all of that, and your confidence will grow. And I can say that 100% because I am a different person from when I first started my channel, which I was being used as almost like a medium. Like it was like, I'm being pulled. But now
Yeah.
I am more,
Yeah.
I am more of a co-creator on this path. Whereas before I was being pulled to it. And that was my journey for 3 years. Patience, patience, and you
Yeah.
will find the elven magic within you because it is within you. You just have to give yourself time to realize it. And it takes some time, especially if you have negative, past events where you've told yourself
Yeah.
or others have told yourself. So going into that healing and really figuring out how to unravel with Vaire all of those old patterns and all of those old ties, literally cut the strings from toxic relationships or people that hold you down so that you can walk on this new path. This is what this is about, really, is the 5D evolution is about saying goodbye to anything that holds you down. It's like having a staircase in front of you, and you have this doorway that beckons you into a new world, and yet you have people, no, don't go, you can't go. It's about saying goodbye to them, believing in yourself, and walking up that staircase into the light. And that is how you transition from the 3D to the 5D. It is about belief in yourself, patience, and knowing that you are part of the grand universe and you are watching your life unfold in this way. And I promise you, you will find it. You will find it. But
Yeah.
it does take
And if you're here, it's going to happen.
It will happen.
It'll
Just keep
happen.
up with it. Yeah, just keep up
Yeah.
with it.
Like if your heart has made you come here already, like, like well before you even got this far, I know that it's going to be something that unfolds for you. I will say, though, something that I've noticed about cutting ties with old relationships, some of which, you can't really do anything about for some things. Like, for instance, like if it's a family member, like they're always going to be your, family member. Okay. And sometimes it's not very convenient. Okay. Like to just say goodbye forever to that person. Okay. Or right now you maybe work for a job that, you have like a person that's an insane boss or something. Here's a way to work that around, because sometimes people don't know it, but then they have to change their relationship with you if they want to hang out in your life. Do you see what I'm saying? So even if they are not aligned with you, if they are your boss, this is just for instance, if they are your boss and they're, normally gruff and they pick on you and whatever, you affirm to the universe, my boss treats me with kindness and respect. And so either your boss that you have right now will do so, okay, and it'll start happening, okay, because you're going to catch them and say, no, that send it back, and you're going to tell them, no, you don't treat me this way. You treat me with kindness and respect, okay, and then they think, whoa, because maybe nobody's ever confronted them and maybe they didn't even know that they were doing it. So they may change their action toward you. And even if they're mean to everybody else, because that's the program, you see, you're changing your program. Your program is, my boss gets along with me. My boss respects me. My boss looks for me to my opinions. So either your boss will step up and be that person, or you will get a new boss that will fit that particular thing. And, you can also have that you get proper exchange, meaning money for the service that you provide. Okay. So that you have a good exchange of energy. So like, because I know a lot of us would be like, I want to be a millionaire, but okay, being a millionaire without the balance of like the energies and how all of that works. It's like taking the law of attraction and just taking only that law and ignoring all the other ones. It's like not going to work. Okay. The airy fairy, story of, we just wish everything and then we don't have to do anything. We don't even have to change. We could just sit on our butt and we'll be millionaires and that's awesome. No, it doesn't happen like that. it's totally a journey within yourself, and yourself is the hardest part. And then the outer environment is the easier part once you change yourself, once you change the energies. And so I just want to tell you guys that are afraid of, like, you know, this person, that person, the other person, like when you're doing that, give it time, okay? But just concentrate on how it is that you want to be treated, word it that way, and then say, my partner, my, you know, family, my this, my that, the other. And if they don't cooperate, that's their journey. Okay, they can go find other people that'll put up with them, and you find new people that you can fill in for those places. And sometimes that's stressful if you're not really ready for things to leave right away. But I mean, that's just part of what it is. And I want you to know that spirit is always going to be taking care of us. So don't be afraid of, like, if that does happen, even if it's uncomfortable, you know, because you are changing a lot of energy, and it's sometimes like getting a new outfit that doesn't fit right, and then you have to tailor it, you know. It's like that.
A new cloak.
It's a new cloak.
Yep.
So you guys are awesome. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
I just want to say that. And it's getting warm in my house right now. I don't know why, but I'm going to take off the gray raiment.
Just believe in yourself, Faith, and all of those other ones, and just have patience, and your reality will start to mirror back who you are becoming. And it really does work that way. Like she said, in terms of relationships, people will start to respond to you differently when you start to see yourself in a new light. They will also as well, because you know, that's what it's about. It's about reflections and mirrors in this universe. And so that's all I can really say. You have to go through it, and you have to have patience for yourself, and you have to believe that this path is meant for you, and that if you didn't resonate, as you said, you've been drawn to J.R.R. Tolkien and you don't know why, then this is something calling to you. And it doesn't matter who you are, where you are, what you look like. It is about your soul. It is about your essence inside of you. And it is something that is calling to help humanity as a whole. And, you know, we're not going to be the saviors of the world, but I think that we're going to be an important harnesser of energy, of ancient energy, of a powerful energy that is, I can't even explain, but it's a very powerful energy, and all of us are kind of harnessing this energy on Earth right now, and it is going to help in the process of awakening and inspiring others. And I truly do believe that. And we're not the only groups that are going to do that. We're going to have many different spiritual pathways. You're going to see on Earth, I mean, already you see Hyperionism. You see that. They're going to be alongside us. I mean, that's just how the future is going to be. There are going to be certain pathways that are going to indicate a future and galactic human. And the Elven spiritual path is one of ancient Elven ancestry. And if you feel that's part of you, then that's part of your soul fulfillment purpose that you're moving towards. And I absolutely believe that. And not every human is going to follow that path. So trust yourself.
Oh, that is true. And I would say on the energy level that you were talking about earlier, I think that I have the word for that energy. It is powerful, but it is deep, and it is like original. I can't even, like, it goes far back beyond anything that we've learned as far as like religions and things like that. And I'm even talking about pagan religions. Like, it seems like it even is longer ago than that. Like, whatever Tolkien tapped into, it was truly primal and truly like original before we like formed. It was great.
I feel the energy as an astral empath. It comes from the 11th dimension. It does.
Oh. It
comes from the 11th dimension, and here's why. Is because the energy that we're tapping into, the moral energy of the Valar and who they represent, and what Tolkien wrote about is an energy that exists in all dimensions as universally good. And what I mean good, it means that it helps life to expand. Any dimension, any universe, life can move forwards using these types of universal truths. And I believe that. And I think that this is 11th dimension energy that we're tapping into. So those alien beings that exist on the 11th dimension, this is basically how they start to gather the type of wisdom and the knowledge about the universe, is by tapping into kind of the wisdom that we're getting a glimpse in Lord of the Rings, because it's about moral universal truths that help everyone and help yourself. And it's a happy ending, let me tell you.
Oh, you guys, it's been an hour and a half. We have to let it go. Oh my goodness. But well, it's so fun hanging out.
Well, this was a little longer because it was the Elven New Year, and I'm imagining us talking and dancing and feasting, and
yeah, and apparently they are too.
This is what we were doing. Yes.
Yeah, so we cheers, are. This is great.
Happy New Year and a new year.
I have a cat cup, but that's okay.
So tomorrow will be the official New Year, but today's like the New Year's Eve.
Yeah, this is the holiday, and tomorrow is the first day of Tuile, the spring, Elven spring.
Tuile. I love it. Okay, so everyone have a wonderful night. Enjoy, set your intentions for your new year. We already had a new year, I know, in Earth, but the idea of
the Gregorian one.
Yeah, you get a second chance around now to really.
This is a better one.
Yeah, the Elven energy is really strong because it correlates to the seasonal energies of the Earth. So you're actually grounded in the Earth energy that's going to bring you that momentum to actually really experience those changes. Whereas New Year's resolution changes, you're in the middle of winter still. And you're like, well, nothing's really changed yet. But the spring rebirth energies are going to bring you, I mean, it will be different, I think. I really believe. I already feel it. I do. So I'm excited for you all to experience that. So
cool.
Namarie.
Hey, Namarie. Laita, blessings to all.